It's Sunday night, and this is the Conjugal Visit on KGFRocks.com.
Yeah, right here. We're here. Hey, it's another Sunday night with the Conjugal Visit Show. Welcome aboard. So glad you could join us this evening. And my friend, the Guido, is with me. What's up, brah?
What's going on, my friend? I was just, admiring my new tracksuit I got on here. I got my Adidas running suit.
So you're still stuck in the 80s, are you?
Yeah,
So you're dressed like a Bosnian mafia dude, right?
Well, didn't you ever see The Sopranos? That's what Paulie Walnuts wore all the time, too.
Paulie Walnuts, yeah, he always wore a...
Yeah.
They had some funky-ass names, didn't they?
Well, yeah, I see that they're coming out with the Sopranos movie now.
Yeah, well, it's actually going to be the prequel to the actual Sopranos. And It's going to be his actual son is going to play the part.
Yeah, he's not going to be in the movie.
Or whatever.
James Gandolfini.
Yeah, James Gandolfini. His son is going to actually play the part of his dad when he was younger, when he was just a street bum. When he was a street, what they used to call them guys? A wise guy.
Soldier. Man.
Yeah, or a soldier. Yeah. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I might.
Well, I want to see it because Uncle June is going to be young. He was an old fucking man in the show.
Yeah.
So I love the way Dominic Chianese played Uncle June. Was really funny. He was really freaking hilarious. I mean, I love that show so much. I mean, I was running a bar when that show was on the air. And I had, I was in the bar 7 nights a week, and usually from like 5 o'clock to like 5 o'clock, and on Sundays I had to leave. I had to leave at like 9 because I had to be home for The Sopranos. That's how much I love that show. Then it actually, I just thinking about it now, like today, if you like a show, I'll just watch it Tuesday. It'll be on Netflix, or back then, if you didn't see it, you missed it.
Yeah, that's true. Back in the day, you had to wait until the next season the summer season to catch it again because they wouldn't replay it. That's what I hated about HBO was that. Well, that was one of the things but now they replay the shows. They'll play the same show over and over again for a week.
Well, I don't even, like I said, I just recently got cable because we didn't even have it for 3 years. And the only reason we got it was because it was some deal with the internet. But I stream everything, man. Free. I pay for it. I don't free stream, and I do pay for it. Hulu and Netflix and all that. And then if you got the YouTube, you can stream YouTube right to your television. I mean, there's so many ways to watch TV.
I listen to KGFRocks.com.
Yeah.
On my Roku TV. You can just download the fucking TuneIn radio app right to your Roku TV. It's real easy to do. You just go in and you put in KGFRocks.com or just KGF Rocks is what it is. You don't have to add the .com, and it comes right up, man. It plays.
And I'm sure, and if you got Spreaker Mobile or the Spreaker app, we're on there too.
Oh yeah, we're on there definitely. I think technology is really awesome. The way where it's come from. I mean, I remember a home phone, for Christ's sake. Nobody's got I mean, if you have a home phone. Actually, we found out today. We just upgraded our cable today, and I had no idea that I had a home phone. All I got to do is plug a phone into the wall, and I've got a home phone.
Yeah, but nobody, like you said, nobody uses them before. But having the line makes sense for like maybe emergency uses. We had my youngest child is like going to be 12 years old, but up until last year we did have a home phone just so for those emergencies. But nobody even had the number. No one ever called us on it. Right. We answered it.
And with tracking devices now, they can even track your cell phone and tell you where you are.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, if you dial 911, they know where you're calling from. at least what area you're calling from. And I,
Right.
I think that's bizarre. That's just simply bizarre that Big Brother is actually watching that closely.
Oh, man, they could see everything. If they wanted to. I'm not saying that right now they're listening to you. So I mean, they're not, but they can if they want to.
Yeah. Why would they listen to me?
I
Hey, I'm not into all that. Well, you said you had something you wanted to talk to me about tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the fucking stupid state that I live in. I'm so sick of New York State. Did you see what that asshat Cuomo did?
No, what did he do now?
He wants to make New York State the abortion capital of the world. He's going to make it legal that you can have abortion right up to the time of birth.
That's insane. That's murder.
It's genocide. It's fucking like Auschwitz bullshit.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah, and
I cannot believe that. The feds need to step in on that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not. I'll be the last person. It's not. It's up to the person. I give you that. I give you that.
But there's got.
There's got to be a limit, man.
There's got to be a regulation at least. You can't
something to regulate it. I mean, it's.
And here's another thing that I don't.
Topic, man.
I
it's
don't
such
get.
a fucked up topic.
Right. Here's another thing I don't get. If it's the woman's choice, okay, it is good. It is. But then how comes I have to pay for it if I didn't want to do it?
Yeah.
If you decide to have that child and I don't want it, I still got to pay for it. But if you decide not to have that child and I want it, I'm shit the fuck out of luck.
Right.
Right. And that's where, there's double standards of it. And I understand it. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I have no opinion on it. But I do think that there should be some kind of regulation to it. If you can get an abortion up to before the baby comes out, that's murder. And then here's another question I have. If I kill this woman and then she's pregnant, they're going to charge me with a double homicide? No, fuck you. She can kill it whenever she wants. Why do I get charged with a double homicide?
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. I thought about that as well. So wait a minute. So if I accidentally kill this woman and she's pregnant, and they get me for negligent homicide, they're going to hit me with 2 counts of negligent homicide.
But if the law in New York State states that it's not a living, breathing thing until it comes out of the womb, I didn't kill nothing.
Right.
So basically what it did was, in the whole point of it is not the point that he made it legal for that. The point of that he just fucked the state of New York on murder cases because the criminals are going to use that against him now.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. And I didn't murder her baby. He wasn't out of the womb. Mm-hmm. So it just opened a whole can of worms without thinking he fucked.
He never thinks. Cuomo never thinks.
Cuomo's,
he's a moron.
Every politician from this state is a moron. I swear to God. I mean, Chuck Schumer is the biggest laughingstock.
I hate the man.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a one-sided person. I have there's Democrat people that I love. There's Republican people that I love. In my state, I think the best politician is a Democrat, and that's Kennedy, Tim Kennedy.
Tim Kennedy,
yeah, and I like him because he's a good person and he's got good values and the things he stands up for is good. But Chuck Schumer is a total Democrat liberal who doesn't believe in helping people. He just believes in helping his party, and that's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, as far as Chuck Schumer is concerned, he's one guy that I just want to one day meet him and punch him right in the face. I just want to hit him. I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill him. I don't want to beat him up. I just want to punch him one time. I'm going to come up with a punching bag with the face of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer on it. And that way I can send it to Trump and he can take his fucking anguish out on the.
Well, here's a conspiracy for you. Here's a scary conspiracy for you.
Okay.
If Trump and Pence die or get killed, Pelosi's the president.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. You're fucking killing me.
That's how Gerald Ford became the president.
Yeah.
Because Agnew resigned.
He was Speaker of the House, and he moved up into the vice presidential spot, and then he pardoned Nixon. Mm-hmm. And it was no wonder that he wasn't going to get reelected.
Yeah, well, he couldn't stop falling either,
Yeah, he kept banging his head on the fucking coming out of the Air Force One.
The funniest fucking Saturday Night Live skits is when Chevy Chase fell, being Gerald Ford all the time. Falls into a tree, falls on the stairs. And, he did it so perfect. It was funny.
They think they're funny on Trump now, but they were funny back then.
They were funny back then. Yeah, they weren't one-sided. That's why it was funnier. Yeah, because they made fun of both parties. That was right. That was the whole thing of television and the media, was to show both sides and maybe say something funny about both and get your mind thinking about one or the other side. Now everybody's so one-sided. You're either Democrat, Republican, conservative, or liberal. Nobody is in the middle grounds anymore.
Exactly. Everybody. It's all one-sided now.
Yeah. It's going to create a civil war, if you will. Maybe not physical war, but it's going to create a physical, some kind of a civil war.
It has been my contention for a long time that we are not beyond another civil war in this country. Mm-hmm. We're definitely not beyond a civil war. I can see states seceding from the Union, namely that of those states up in the Northeast. New York, Vermont, all those countries up in the Northeast, and then
the super liberal states. You mean
Texas? Texas, and also California. I mean, I
think Texas is the most American state in the whole America.
Texas is America. Yeah, Texas is America, and it's what and unfortunately, it is starting to turn a little bit purple, which really bothers me because there's a lot of infighting amongst the Republican Party about this border thing.
But, I agree with you in the whole Beto O'Rourke thing. Ted Cruz shouldn't have won by mere votes because Ted Cruz is not a bad person. Ted Cruz is a decent human being as far as I know, I mean, I don't trust any politician at all, to be honest with you, 100%, because political spectrum now is a business. It's run like a business. We'll tell you what you want to hear just so we can get your vote.
Yeah. Have you seen his beard? Have you seen his beard?
I know.
He's got a fucking beard.
Yeah, he's got a Twitter page. There's a Twitter page called Ted Cruz's Beard, and it's pretty funny. It shows the growth of Ted Cruz's beard throughout the months. And I think it's cool. Good for him. I mean, conservative Republican candidates have always been like real strict dressed and
right.
Let him have a little beard. I don't care. It doesn't mean he can't be a good leader, because he's got a beard.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, I agree with that. I mean, there's no question that there's a lot going on in this world that it ain't cool.
No, it's not. And it's not just America either, man. Brexit is ridiculous over in England, and the European Union. That bullshit. And look at Venezuela. Venezuela is just a shit show right now, man.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Venezuela with their, they had the whole friggin' idea of not communism. What's that? Socialism. And all the government owned all the businesses and everything, and we're going to do this, and everybody's not going to have to worry about anything. They're fucking broke.
They're broke.
They're broke. They have no money, and it's because they got rid of a thing called capitalism. United States has thrived for so long, my friend, off the taxes that we make. Okay, yeah. We are the richest nation in the world. Maybe not the richest, but we're one of the richest nations in the world off of a tax system that works.
That's true. It works. It does work. I mean, they can take your home without a warrant. They can.
Right. Well, I mean, there is, there's some people that say that the IRS is actually illegal, and the Fed Reserve is just a piece of shit.
No, it's not that the IRS is illegal. I don't think it's their actions that are illegal.
Yeah, maybe
they don't.
Maybe.
They don't have to have a warrant to take your home. They don't have to have a warrant to attach your payroll or attach your income. They can just foreclose on everything on you, dude. They can take your car, your house, your computer.
If you look through things, you can get less time for murder than you can for tax evasion.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I've seen guys get 15 to 25 years for tax evasion.
Right.
Plus a fine,
Yeah.
Plus they got to pay back all that money. How are you going to pay it all back if you're in prison?
You got to make a lot of license plates, man.
No, you just got to open your mouth, get yourself an attorney, and get your taxes done. That's all.
That's it.
I mean, and make sure it's done right. Oh, my accountant fucked up. No, you fucked up by signing it because you know damn well there was something in there or something got left out.
Right. Unless you're like, a rich person or a business type person, you can go on to TurboTax as a regular working class person and get it done, and it's right. Or you could do it yourself. It's not that difficult. It's difficult when you got to start doing all the deductions and all the, because you paid for the whole tuition of your kid's college or this. I mean, there's a lot of things that get confusing, and you could lose a lot of money by not checking the right boxes.
Right. Exactly.
Go ahead.
We're running out of time here. We want to bring our guests in. And just just on a final note, pay your taxes, folks.
Yeah,
pay your freaking taxes.
How are we running out of time? It's only been 15 minutes.
I know, but we've got guests waiting in the green room.
All right.
We got guests waiting, and we've got Mr. Mudbone Ferguson and Joe Chick waiting in the green room. And this is our 77th show.
Wow.
This is our 77th show, counting all the ones that we did before on Spreaker and on, what was that other thing we were on there? I can't think of it now.
Podcast City or something.
Yeah,
or
whatever
something.
the hell it was. And we were on there when we were on Mayhem. And so 76 shows, man. 76. Oh, my God. On our 100th show, we got to celebrate.
Okay.
On our 100th, so we're going to celebrate, and we're going to bring in some other guests and stuff.
And don't figure it out in your mind what a 100th show would be, because that may not happen in the week's core lines. You could say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they'll make it on the 17th of it. No, it doesn't mean we're going to make it there, because sometimes we take a couple month retreat.
Don't get your hopes up. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to play a tune from United Rebel, and this is their live version of this. It's about 3 minutes, so that gives me about 3 minutes to bring them in from the green room and get them comfortable. And we'll be right back right after this. This is KGFRocks.com. You're listening to The Conjugal Visits.
One, two, three, four.
Oh, we missed it. That was quick.
Oh, wow. Shit.
Whoa. Hey, that was pretty cool. Listening to the live Rebels United. And that's the first time I think we've ever played a live song on our show. You believe that?
Yeah.
Anyways, without further ado, we want to welcome to the show. The big show is Joe Chick, bassist from Rebels United, rather, I should say. And we also have Mudbone Ferguson.
That's right.
What do you play, Mudbone? What do you play? What do you do with the band? Are you lead guitar or?
I'm a lead vocalist, rhythm guitar.
Oh, cool.
Lead vocalist, rhythm guitar.
Your name's almost like Free Ride's name in the band he was in. He was Skin Flute Lou back in his old band.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You didn't have to tell them. That was a part of my life I did not want to share, Guido. You and I are going to have a conversation after the show.
Where do you get that name?
Yeah.
I wonder.
In itself.
He's a hippie, you know.
Yeah, skin flute.
So you guys are from the New Jersey area, correct?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. There's cool people that come from New Jersey. You had Frank Sinatra.
We're from Jersey.
Yeah, Sinatra was from Jersey. I believe my favorite guitar player of all time, Zakk Wylde, wasn't he from New Jersey?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yeah, back to New Jersey. Actually, remember.
I hate when people just say. Yeah, I just hate when people say, "Oh, Bruce Springsteen." He's not the only guy to come from Jersey.
No, Bon Jovi's from Jersey.
Okay, he tried to take my.
Well, when you say Zakk Wylde, his real name is Jeff, and he used to work at a guitar store not far from here.
He makes some pretty guitars now. I'll tell you that much. I don't have can't afford one, but they're pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're very nice guitars. Nice guitars. So tell us what's going on with you guys, man. What have you guys been up to?
We got a show coming up at the Rusty Nail Club in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. It's going to be June 8th. We're going to be hitting the studio pretty soon, recording new music. Okay. And we also got offered to play at the Wells Fargo Center for a Philadelphia Wings game.
Oh, cool.
It's like lacrosse, professional lacrosse. That's going to be March 25th. Yeah.
I bet you that has a great following, man. Do they pack in the house there at that lacrosse shit?
Usually get about 8,000 or 10,000 people.
Yeah, we got that here in Buffalo too. It's pretty wild actually. The lacrosse, people think of it. Oh, lacrosse. I'm telling you what, that's more eventful than hockey.
It's getting really big.
Yeah, they got a lot of shit going on in there. It is it's a sport that, a lot of kids play in college, but then they get out and they don't play no more because what are you going to do? It's just like rugby. I played it, but we just played it to drink,
Well, speaking about rugby, you want to know, we just played the college rugby national championship game at the Town Energy Stadium.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
where that
cool.
Professional soccer team plays. Metro Stars or whatever they're called, Philadelphia.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. That's a pretty rough sport. Did you guys watch the games in that? It's pretty friggin' rough.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys really get into it. But anyways, while we're on the subject of, New Jersey, what is the best place to play in New Jersey? What do you guys think?
To me, it would have to be either Stone Pony or the Starland Ballroom.
Wow, those are like old, aren't they?
Yeah, they get a lot of really famous bands. Kiss, every band you can think of. Iron Maiden's played there.
Sure, those are pretty iconic places.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Bruce Springsteen made it famous.
Now, have you ever played any of those joints? You guys?
Yeah, we played a Stone Pony a couple of times.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, that's just like somebody on the West Coast, and they played at the
Whiskey A Go Go.
Whiskey A Go Go, kind of like that, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's just a small Pepsi house that Bruce built, with quotes. Yeah. The whole Asbury Park scene has really come back. The last few years has really happened. And again, all the clubs, lots of original music, lots of rock.
That's good to hear, because for a while there was no original music. Was like, if you wanted to make it in music, you had to be a cover band for a long time. And that was sad. It was sad, but I'm glad that there is bands coming out now that are have enough balls to do their own thing, So kudos to you guys. So what do you think your sound is? How do you define Rebels United?
Like metal, hard rock metal, old school. We'd call it the old school sound.
Old school sound. Yeah, that's pretty good, accurate description, I think. Do you guys have any major influences? Like, what made you get into this business?
Well, growing up listening to the bands like Metallica, Megadeth, the big four bands, Slayer, Anthrax. Big fan of AC/DC, Maiden, the Cult, believe it or not.
Oh, the Cult's a great band.
Yeah.
What about you, Mudbone?
Oh, absolutely. All those bands you mentioned. I'm big Maiden, Judas Priest, all the bands come out of Jersey. Overkill, right over local guys. When we grew up, Metallica came in and recorded the album. They were from the Old Bridge area where Metal Blade Records, everything started out. There were so many bands when we were young, starting out, just really got us into that metal. Everybody was metal.
I mean, we were really blessed because we grew up in the 80s where all this stuff was like taking place. Metallica just got signed by John Zazulu's record company, Megaforce Records.
Megaforce.
I was actually like
the Metal Blade,
working across the street from the record company. See Metallica walking around.
Yeah, I
would ask for your French fries. Not eating your French fries.
Yeah, my two favorite bands of all time in like the rap metal fame are both fucking like from I had Metallica was definitely one of them, but Anthrax was the shit, man. I mean, they were
Anthrax. I was working when I was younger back then, and I was working at a House of Pancakes as a busboy, and they actually signed their contract right there.
That's awesome.
At the IHOP, they signed a contract at the IHOP.
Yeah,
they signed a contract at the. I mean, it sounds like a made-up story, but that's weird.
No,
I don't know if they were signing a contract, but they were like signing papers.
That's awesome, man. I think, and I tell you what, I don't know if you listen to any of the recent music, but I think their new music is just as good, if not better, than the shit they did back then.
Oh yeah, everything's been good. I mean, the old and the new was good. They stayed pretty consistent, heavy, and.
Sure, absolutely. And so you guys, you grew up around that scene in the 80s. That's when I grew up too. So, and I know the Buffalo scene here was different from where you guys were, but that's when the scene was the last best, I believe. The rock scene was truly great during the 80s.
Oh, yeah, we were really blessed to grow up in this area because, Bon Jovi from Saraville. Didn't your father teach him in high school or something?
Well, my father, was a teacher in Saraville, New Jersey. He taught a lot of Bon Jovi.
That's awesome.
And Greg Evigan. That's the two big guys. DJ and the Bear.
DJ and the Bear. My two dads and shit.
I met him. Skid Row.
My mom was
hanging out with Skid Row a couple times.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, a few of the members did Little League with us.
Of all those bands,
we were at a club called the Trade Winds, and I want to say the early '90s, and Skid Row. We were hanging out with Skid Row, and Slave to the Grind just came out. It wasn't, and the drummer, I was in his car. He's like playing it. Back then we had CD players, tape players, whatever. Playing it, and what do you think about this? I was like, this is going to be. This sounds great. And then it went to be number one.
Oh yeah, that album kicked ass.
And guess who else was there? But they were like a glam band.
Who's that?
Pantera.
Oh yeah, Pantera.
But I don't remember. They were like more like a glam.
They were absolutely. They looked like Poison more than
Yeah, spandex with you. Both
Many people don't know that.
You run because it's such a small state and it's really crowded. And I was at amusement park called Great Adventure. And I look right to my right. Lo and behold, I got Glenn Danzig.
Shit.
Standing right next to me in the line.
Did you have to look down? Because he's pretty short.
I thought he looked big on TV, but he was up to my elbow.
Yeah, he's a real short guy.
Is that you? He's like, yeah.
But I tell you what, man, that Danzig album. Speaking of Danzig, the first one that came out,
yeah.
I was floored by that album. I thought it was one of the greatest albums ever came out.
Yeah,
man.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Misfits a lot, and Danzig, so many opportunities to see these bands.
Well, you being a fan from Buffalo, I imagine you're probably a Buffalo Bills fan, I would take.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, one of the most hated persons in Buffalo history is who? Scott Norwood, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I was at a party, at the Super Bowl party, and Mike Romeo from Symphony X, he was in a band called Gemini back then. He was there.
Oh, nice. Hey, we just had Mike.
When he missed the field goal.
We had Mike LaPond on last week. From
he's in Symphony. Oh, I love. He's in Ross the Boss now. We just played a show with him. He's really cool dude, man.
Yeah, he is. And
listen to this. We were playing at this club in New Jersey called the Brighton Bar, where the Misfits and a lot of the famous bands played. The day or the next day after, they played. What's that? Let's see if I pronounce that. The Wacken Festival in Germany.
Yeah.
They played that. I mean, Brighton Bar fits 200 people, and they're playing the next day, playing 80,000 people.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Well, that's the thing about music that is great is even here in Buffalo, our biggest band is the Goo Goo Dolls, okay? But back in the day, the Goo Goo Dolls could go somewhere in California and they'd play to 18 people, but then they'd play here and they'd be playing to 25,000 people. I mean, you could be so famous in your hometown, but be virtually unknown anywhere. And a lot of people are happy with that, and there's a lot of bands. Well, I don't know if there is anymore, but there used to be a lot of regional bands, especially in the 60s and 70s, that never made it out of their town, but they were really famous in their town. I don't know if you're describing
us. Yeah, that's our goal.
Well, we all got jobs. We all got good jobs, and we're all. It's not like we're hurting for money or anything. So
right.
It's
and plus now with the YouTube and the internet era, you don't even need as much, reliance on medical contracts and shit like you used to anymore.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to delve into that area.
Every band is an indie band.
Right.
All the bands that are coming up and coming. I mean, there's a lot of bands that corporate music never really recognizes. And they don't know what they're missing. There's a lot of bands out there that have never been signed that are just fucking fantastic. And, of those bands that we were talking about earlier, your influences and stuff, pick one that you would like to tour with, to do a tour with and open up for.
Mudbone, you want to take that one?
Monster Magnet. One of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
Out of Redback, Jersey.
Yeah, that's a great freaking band. I like them too. That would be a great band to open for. And they're still pretty relative too. I seen them at a concert not that long ago, and there was a lot of people there.
I would probably be the Cult.
The Cult, that's a great band too.
Just an underrated band. They had a good rocking sound, and I thought they'd be a lot.
Absolutely. The Firewoman is a great song, but there's songs that people don't even know about the Cult are good. And actually the musicianship is really good. They were a good band. And then I'm a Doors fan, and I thought Ian Astbury did.
We were just listening to the Doors right before you called us up.
Oh, really? That's awesome. And I never thought I would say, anybody else in Jim Morrison's shoes ain't going to work. But Ian Astbury really gave that role, legitimacy, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're never going to replace Jim Morrison. That's irreplaceable. But he did a good job.
Yeah, he did a great job, and it was nice to hear the music again with the most of the original band. And they're dying off, man. It's going to be pretty soon. There's going to be no Doors left, or Beatles for that matter.
Yeah, there's only 2 left.
But then Dan,
I think from Edison, New Jersey, I heard from the Doors.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from New Jersey.
A long time ago.
Yeah, a long time. But you know what?
Moons ago.
Why is everybody dying except for the Stones?
Seems like every week, a month, we hear one of our heroes is dying.
They try to deal with the devil.
It's crazy. My biggest one is the fucking
all the children's blood they drink.
Yeah, the two brothers from Pantera killed me. It's like, what? When Vinnie Paul died, it was like, how the hell did he die now? It was a shame. Pantera was an amazing band, and I think they could have been a lot bigger if they continued.
Oh, they would have been huge. They were huge. But our brother saw them at the Starland Ballroom the day before. I guess they went out to Ohio the next day, and that's when he got
killed. Yeah,
on the day before the show.
It's like a lot of bands like to do like one show in Jersey and then go on tour.
Yeah, they do one show in Jersey.
A lot of bands in Atlantic City where they do that. Like, it's the first day. They try us out.
I actually drove somewhere to New Jersey when I was young, and I don't remember where, but we drove out there to see, at the time, which was my favorite band in 1986. It was Cinderella.
Oh yeah, they're from Pennsylvania. Like Bon Jovi took them under the wing.
And that's where the first place we saw him was there. And I still to this day think Cinderella got like mixed in that glam rock, and they shouldn't have, because they were more Rolling Stones than anybody else, in my opinion. And they should have. I miss the bands like that. I really do. And there's to me, music today. Some of it's good. A lot of it's good, but most of it lost. It's like they're trying to all sound the same.
Could it be that it's overkill though? I mean, could it be that there's just too much? Does that make sense to you? In the old days, and I know, speaking from experience, the old days, there weren't near as many bands, and in order for you to get heard back then, because there was only one venue, and that was the radio, was to go through a record contract. And today, it's like everywhere, man. You post your music on Facebook, Twitter. You can put it on Amazon and pay for it yourself. And you can go on YouTube and post your music on YouTube. So there's so many different venues to put your music out there. But the number one venue right now to put your music out there in front of people is live. Yeah. And so I think you have to go live.
I do too, and you know what, guys? I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I think that being able to put your own music out the way you want to, it stops the record company executives from altering the music that you want to do. And I'd rather have a choice to listen to 100 different venues of music and choose what I like than some radio station or record company telling me this is what you should like.
You hit the nail on the head. I totally agree. Much more freedom.
Yeah.
Hey, back in the day, remember these guys got these record deals, but they were basically slaves to the record company. They owed them millions of dollars.
Oh yeah.
Or they owed them, or they would owe them 4 out of the 5 songs, or 5 out of the 10 songs on their album had to be. This is what you're going to put on this album, and we want you to do this song. We'll give you full credit. But you got to play this song. Yeah, but there's
places like I've heard, like Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls in an interview, they had 3 hit albums out and they didn't make any money to their 4th hit album because of the money that they owed for, recording and promotion.
But that goes to the manager, right? I mean, do you?
No, it goes to the record company because they used to put the money up.
What I'm saying is that blame goes towards their management. They didn't take care of them. Their management.
Well, I don't think you really have a manager when you first sign a record company as a band. I think you sign that contract by yourself in most cases. I do.
Yeah. No.
I mean, what do you think?
Somebody out there willing to make money.
I mean, do you think most bands throughout the time? Do you think the Red Hot Chili Peppers had a manager when they signed their first contract?
No, probably not.
Probably not. I mean, I think
back in the day, I remember the golden ticket for fame was you got on MTV, and that was it. Because I remember Skid Row got on there, Trickster, some of these local bands.
Yeah.
They all went out to L.A. You had to go out to L.A. to get some.
Once they got on MTV, though, that's when they really hit it big.
Yeah,
so,
you had to
crowds, next thing you know, they got gold and platinum albums.
You had to do your time. You had to do your time on the circuit too. And your coke dealer had a lot to do with it too. So if you had a really good coke dealer, you could probably
Coca-Cola, right?
get a recording contract with Sony or somebody like that, real big time, and you wouldn't have to worry about it.
You guys mentioned Trickster. I got to say that was one of my favorite albums of the year in 1990. I just had to throw that out there because I forgot that they were from Jersey too.
That's right. They're from Jersey.
Yeah, and they were.
Remember back in the day, all the metalheads pretty much hung out in the same places, went to the same party, and so
sure.
You know.
Yeah, well, see, because I was like, growing up in the '80s, in the early '80s, every band that you saw on MTV was from L.A. Rat, Motley Crue, and all this stuff. They were all from L.A. And even Poison, who was from like Pennsylvania, was billed from L.A. But I forgot about all these real hardcore metal bands that are from New Jersey, New Yorkish area. That's. Well,
Bobby Blitz went to the high school that me and Mudbone went to Spotswood area. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That's really cool. And so, what is it about like Jersey that it created all these rock stars?
He's got a lot of working class. I mean, there's a lot of. It's like a upper middle class, but there's a lot of working class. Back then, they had a lot of factories. Yeah. And then it's just like in Birmingham, England. It's like the same, Ozzy and.
Sure.
There's this fertile ground for heavy metal to breed in that area because.
I think we're in the middle of New York City, Manhattan, and Philly. We're pretty close.
New York.
45 minutes each direction.
Right. New York is
clubs like L'Amour's was really big. Everybody, most of the metalheads hang out there. And Mangle, there's a lot of like rock clubs back then. A lot of venues.
Right. Yeah. See, I think my favorite band of all time is a New York band, and that's Kiss. So, I mean, it's, and
Kiss is hot. Yeah. And other bands like the New York Dolls, Blue Oyster Cult. You can Smithereens.
Blue Oyster Cult can play. Yeah, Blue Oyster Cult will play somewhere in California in a small club and come to somewhere in New York State and play at a big festival.
Oh, yeah, it'll be like 100,000 people and shit. I went to see Blue Oyster Cult here in St. Louis, and they gave free tickets, right? What kind of a stupid thing would that be? Because they weren't, they weren't that thing. It was before Godzilla. And they came to St. Louis, and there was 80,000 people showed up. They couldn't get everybody in. I got there early enough, so I got a chance to get in, but not everybody got into the show. And, of course, you could hear it from outside the venue, so it didn't really matter. But still, 80,000 people went to see a band that was on the charts, but they weren't quite at at their peak yet, and they hadn't hit their peak. I guess that helped them to get to where they were going. So, but that playing live is always good for you to get out and venture out and play your music live. On this, when are you guys planning on going into the studio?
Next few months.
The next few months. Have you got one selected yet? Or you know where you're going to be going, or
home studio?
We got like 30 songs in the pipeline right now. We just can't decide which, and most of them like really good.
That's awesome.
We can't decide which one we want to do.
Do a double album, man. Do a double album. The Beatles did it.
That's not a bad problem to have, though.
No, that really is not a bad problem to have.
The material's not a problem. We could crank them out.
Now, you guys...
The problem is, most of us at work. We have full-time jobs and family guys and small state, but we're stretched around all across the state. One guy lives like 2 hours north. The other guy's an hour. So we got meet in Trenton.
You could even do
where
something.
We usually practice.
Like I was in one time where we all just did our own track and sent it through the internet and created a whole fucking song. It's like ridiculous now what you can do, And
I did that for a while. It sounds like a guy in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I remember when you used to have to, if you wanted to record something with somebody in another state, you'd have to record it, tape it, send it to him. He'd add to it, send it back to you.
Yeah, you had to mix it. You had to mix it.
You guys ever watched the Battle Show on VH1? It was for about 8 or 9 seasons.
What show was that?
It's called The Metal Show.
Oh, yeah. With Eddie Trunk.
We did a show. Don Jameson hosted it from The Metal Show. And it was for Iron Maiden beer. It was like a promo for Iron Maiden and Anthrax beer.
Sure. I got that beer.
That's good. The Trooper?
Yeah, I got the Trooper. It's okay. I went to see Metallica when they were up in Buffalo in October. Amazing show, but they had Metallica beer for sale. So I'm like, I got to get a Metallica beer at a Metallica show. Yeah, I took 2 sips and threw that bitch right in the garbage. Oh, man. Stick to metal, guys, please. Yeah.
Stick to
European style.
European,
yeah, it must have been some Denmark beer or something.
Like American, piss water beer. I want people to drink it.
Well, when I went to Germany, all their beers, they don't even refrigerate refrigerate their beer. It's really warm.
Oh, no. Yeah, in the Army, the same thing. I went there, and I'm like, what? They don't even have refrigeration.
The new thing is you're nobody unless you produced a rum or a vodka or a fucking
Wait, did you just say the Army?
What's that?
You just say the Army? I guess we're Army brothers then.
Yeah. Oh, hey, thank you for service, man. That's right. I actually, I went into the service and I was a rocking guy. I was in the metallic and all this. This is funny. And then I got stationed in Missouri for a while, and then I got stationed in Oklahoma. Yeah, Leonardwood. Yeah, and I was stationed at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And I came home on the plane, and my whole family didn't even know who I was because I had a cowboy hat on and jeans and this polo tie and all this. I don't know. I turned country for like 5-6 months.
You were native.
Yeah, and then I came back. And
he did that to get laid. There's no ground there.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to do
We had
what you
this
got to do.
Guido guy went to the Army with, and we went down Fort Hood, Texas, and he listened to, type of music they listen to, that dance music. We get down there in Texas, next thing you know, he's the biggest cowboy hat, cowboy boots, listen to the country to try to get girls.
He goes redneck. He went redneck.
We called him the Jersey Cowboy.
There was no try, and I just read it, Urban Cowboy.
Urban Cowboy, right? Right. I was at Fort Leonard Wood myself for my basic, and then I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and
95B.
Yeah, 95 Bravo. Yeah.
Same with me. Yeah, but back then it was at Fort McClellan, was the biggest toxic waste dump. Yeah. But he had store radiation, nuclear, biological. Yeah, I went through there.
I was 12 Bravo. I was a bricklayer.
He was a bricklayer. Yeah, he was engineering. He was engineering, right?
I remember one time they're teaching us how to do landmines. I'm like, wait a minute, I lay fucking bricks. What is this bullshit?
I gotta fuck with landmines and shit.
They're like, you think you're gonna build bricks in the fucking jungles? But then what the hell am I doing?
There's nothing like the smell. There's nothing like the smell of a well-greased fucking howitzer, man. I tell you what, when you got done cleaning your howitzer, man, it was like, oh my God, you were so proud of yourself. Then you go right back out and fucking get it dirty again.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
So going out.
So we don't forget, man. We gotta let everybody know. Well, okay, there's you two, which is Joe Chick and Mudbone Ferguson. I still can't get over that fucking name. And then who's the other members in the band?
I want to wait on this person. What's that? Then we have John Pollock. He's probably listening. He's at work right now, working the night shift.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Say hi. Well, we can't hear you, but he's probably laughing right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to John and Brock Sushi.
Yeah.
He's our drummer. He's actually from Bangor, Maine.
Bangor,
Maine. Player.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And it was his name Sushi?
Sushi, yeah. He's our drummer.
Yeah.
So he's raw then.
Bangalore, Maine. You know what came from Bangalore, Maine, don't you?
Who?
No, it's a what? Actually, the Bangalore mine.
What the fuck is that?
A Bangalore mine was explosives in a long tube, and it had a male end and a female end on each end.
Oh yeah.
And they would put
these mine.
Yeah, and they would put these things together, and they would shove them up underneath the barbed wire and blow it so it would put a hole in the barbed wire so that they can get through the enemy lines.
Oh, cool.
That's a Bangalore.
The thing I remember about the Claymore mine, they had an actual sign, face this, telling you.
Oh yeah, face it, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
they had idiots that would face it towards them and explode it.
Yeah, face towards the enemy. That fucking thing.
How would you like to do that? Trip that wire and have a million fucking BBs or pellets coming at you at a fucking.
Only do it one time.
It would only be one time, and you wouldn't feel a fucking thing, man. You're done. See ya. They were fast. They didn't play around.
I remember when they were teaching us landmine training and shit. And they'd be like, if you step on it and it goes click, just tell your buddies to leave. No, fuck you.
I remember in basic, some of these guys are in there, not the brightest tool in the shed, They'll throw a grenade and it fall back towards you, and they're doing their bazookas, and you're right behind it, and it's like,
Oh, I'm sure there was plenty of fatalities.
Especially in infantry. What's that? 11 Bravo guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true. So how long have you guys been together now?
Dating? No, that's a joke.
Yeah, no, not dating.
No, we're all. But actually, I've known Mudbone for a long time since we were like little kids.
Elementary school.
I was in elementary school.
Since elementary school?
We had a band back after high school. We had sound like the Colt, right? I was like a rip-off of the Colt, because back then I was really into them.
Yeah.
And we had a nice little following in the area.
Yeah, we did covers.
And then I went up and joined the military. I wanted to join the Marines, but the recruiter was never there. And the Army guy's like, oh, you join the Marines, you can't do this, you can't Army, you know. So I went up signed up for the Army.
You made the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two.
Yeah, but that's awesome that you guys.
I think they call them. I don't want to offend anybody, but that's.
Yeah, I that's my job, is defend the whole world. That's what I do. I'm like this guy that has, like, I don't care. I don't believe in political correctness. What do you guys think about this whole political correct state that we live in now?
I think it's political, man. I mean, I don't give a shit if we're all Americans, Democrat, Republican.
Sure. I agree 100%, but, you know, it seems like
people watch these news channels all day, and one guy goes in their corner, but we got to get stuff done, you know, and we got to talk to each other, get the problem solved in this country.
Sure, absolutely. But see, the problem is everybody gets butt hurt so quick these days. I agree.
It's not like back in the day when they actually talk. Now it's like really extreme. Like, it's not like the old parties back in the day.
Right, no, they're letting emotion get in the way.
Exactly.
They let the emotion of hatred get in their way.
Well, I find it funny that, like, comedians are getting ridiculed for being too offensive. What the fuck? That's their job.
Yeah.
We don't care about politics. We just care about going out and having a good time and rocking and rolling.
Sure.
There you go.
We don't care if there's Democrats or Republicans at a show. We actually like to have both.
It's just joy to.
Well, we've talked, Guido. We've talked about this before. How a lot of the artists out there are getting political at their shows.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
You got them on the left and you got them on the right.
You do. You got like Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent on one side.
Share.
Nobody wants to hear your political views. They just want to hear your music. On the other spectrum, you got, like you said, Ted Nugent.
The one that gets me the most is Roger Waters. Go back to English.
Yeah, he's always
he's always been political. He didn't care, and the one thing about him is he insulted Reagan, he insulted Clinton, he insulted everybody, he hated everybody, anybody that's in charge.
He used the stage as a platform to put out their political views. They're there to see them perform. They don't care about their. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to
I don't come to a show to hear about politics. Definitely.
I want to hear about politics. At a convention, if I want to see a rock and roll show, I want to go to a rock and roll show.
I mean, if you go to a Rage Against the Machine concert, you expect it there. You know.
Yeah,
but if you're going to see Don Henley, you don't want to
enjoy. Yeah, you have to delve into every lyric, and you can still enjoy the music.
Right.
No, that's the thing. Is that some people are like, "Oh, why do you listen to Rage Against the Machine? You don't like that politics." I'm like, I still like their fucking music.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good music.
You don't have to live by their words. You know?
Right. Well, hey, Green Day is a bunch of communists. I mean, they're socialists.
Oh, they're really.
They've gone over. Green Day has gone over the top with their socialist agenda.
Which is sad because I kind of like Green Day, and it pisses me off that they're doing this. You know.
Oh, I love their music, but it's like, you know, don't get political with me, man. You know what?
I totally agree. Bands are getting way too, especially on the left.
Yeah, especially on the left. Yeah, way too left.
Well, leave the politics to the politicians, and music should be the
escape.
Yeah, it should be the escape from all the bullshit.
Well, the problem that we're having in America today, I think, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, is the government doesn't fear us anymore. They don't fear the common guy anymore. They just
shut down. Well, that's exactly what they just did. They shut down the government for.
Yeah, I mean,
5 weeks.
Not 31 days or what have you, and they don't fear us. They don't give a fuck what we think, and they don't give a fuck what we want. And it's come to the point where I'm in charge. You'll do what I tell you. Now shut up and sit down. and that shit don't wash no more, man. Pretty soon it's going to come to a head. But we didn't come here to talk politics, man. We came here to talk music. So let's rock and roll here. Let's do a song.
I'm on a politics show.
Right. I'm gonna do a tune here for you guys, man. Since you're a big cult fan, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play Fire Woman. And we're gonna do a tune, and stay with us, folks.
One of the more poppy type songs, but yeah, that's good.
Well, hey, listen, it's a Fire Woman thing. It's one of them things. It entertains my listeners, and I think they'll enjoy it. And we'll be right back. We're gonna take a short break. We'll be back with Joe Chick and his guitarist, lead singer of the band, Mud. Yeah, that's him, man.
He can't find your name.
Mudbone Ferguson.
Mudbone Ferguson, that's him. We'll be right back, folks. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned.
I'm in his band. I'm a bassist.
Okay.
The Cult.
I got it.
We're back.
I know.
Just
That was
singing in
kind of...
this band. Just singing right now.
Actually, Mudbone, he can do it all. He plays bass, guitar, drums.
So we go back playing
Every
it.
of us, we can.
All right. That's awesome. Here, I want to ask.
Both of us can do drums, or we can interchangeable on any instrument.
That's pretty cool. All right, we're back on the air, guys, and I wanted to start off with saying, first of all, thanks for coming on the show. But
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
Had a great show. I've been tuning in the last couple of weeks. And
really, thank you. Now, Mudbone, I got a question for you.
Yes.
All right. Now, you being a singer, singing is a little different. People say, oh, this, that, whatever. But everybody's got an influence. Now, in your singing style, who do you think influenced you the most?
Elvis. So Elvis Presley.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's like my favorite guy of all time, by the way.
He's an Elvis.
My dad loved Elvis, and they always had me singing Elvis songs.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with being an Elvis fan.
Danzig, Misfits, Danzig, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Bruce Dickinson.
Is it easier to sing an Elvis song or the music you do today? Which is easier for you?
Well, they're both about the same.
Yeah. They're both just as complicated? One's not more complicated than the
They're
other?
different. It's different ways, yeah. Singing both differently. Depends what song you're singing.
Sure. But if you listen to Danzig, he's got a little bit of Elvis in him, too.
He definitely is influenced by Elvis a lot, yeah.
Yeah, in the whole 50s music scene in general. Like you could hear
him to it as well.
Yeah, and that's great. That's awesome that you both of them, because they both were a lot of styles, and of course Bruce Dickinson is just ridiculous.
I try to emulate what he does. I can't reach what he does.
I don't think anybody.
I try to sing it in key. I don't try to.
Right. Well, you know what? Sometimes people emulate or try to do it, and they don't do it well. Like I love to sing, and if I tried to sing like one of my favorite singers, Dio, I'd probably fucking be punched in the face.
Oh, yeah, I love Dio, too.
You know?
I don't want to sound like
You can sing along to a song. You think you're doing good, but
I don't want to sound like I'm kissing Mudbone's ass, but he can actually play like guitar, drums. He can do it all. He can even like recording and all.
So you're like the heavy metal
for years. He got me back into this. So having a lot of
fun. I'm back. I said, hey, I know this guy, and
he kept asking me like, I don't want to do it. I don't have time to do it right now. Just come sing. You don't have to play anything. Just show up and sing, and I did, and that was it.
So you're like the heavy metal prince.
I guess
that's a good analogy.
Karaoke superstar.
I don't know if he can do his dance move.
There's another guy that's really not given enough credit in the rock world, because even though he was an R&B guy, he fucking could play the guitar like nobody else.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of guitars, both of you play guitar, bass, whatever. What's some influences? I got to hear this. Then I'll tell you mine.
Individually, who would be the person who you would?
Who's going first?
Well, I was Mudbone Ferguson. I was more like the blues rock, like Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi, Jimmy Page.
Sure.
Black Sabbath, not Black. Deep Purple.
Oh, Richie Blackmore, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's the influence. I don't play as great as them, but I feel like that more of the blues, hard rock style.
Nothing wrong with that, bro.
Not really shredder.
Right. And what about you? How about you? What's your influences in guitar?
Me, actually, I'm a bass player in this band, but I'm actually started out as a guitar player.
Sure.
And so I actually play the bass like the guitar.
Oh, that's cool.
I like to say Angus Young is a big influence. Zach Wild, Jimmy Page. Who else? Actually, Yngwie Malmsteen, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. See, I had
a lot of influences.
I did too. I had a lot of influences too, but there was 3 guys in the guitar realm, and they came in stages for me. And my first one, real one, was Ace Frehley.
Oh, he's another one.
Yeah,
that was my first. Believe it or not, I'm just saying the first one I remember.
Yeah, right.
Was seeing Ace Frehley, like rock and roll all night. And remember those cars they had, those Kiss cars?
Oh yeah, I had them all. And and I'm sure we're not the only ones.
Boxes back then.
Kiss that.
They had a TV show. I remember back then. They were all over the place.
Oh, they were all over the place. But then,
talk about marketing. That guy Gene Simmons was the biggest marketing genius.
In elementary school, you'd be able to bring in records to school, play 45s like on that play.
Ace Frehley was probably, and Tony Iommi to listen to Black Sabbath. There's a first time I can remember getting those little, like, wait, what is this? I like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I'm just resonating with this.
Yeah, I remember.
I think he created like
Kiss fan club too, and nobody else came to my mind. Like there was nobody else that could beat Ace Frehley until I saw the movie Crossroads and I met Steve Vai. And
oh yeah, he's good. He's from like New York area too.
Yeah. When I first saw him, I was done. I was like, I want to be that.
He's good.
And then it turned out to be I can play like Stairway, the opening line to Stairway to Heaven.
He does that G3 tour. He comes around with different guitar players, like Yngwie, and I think he had Zach Wild with him one time.
He did. He had John Petrucci with him once.
All kinds of.
Yeah, and that's another guy that is amazing. John Petrucci. He's woo.
I like a lot. He's actually a guy that I've met and I've talked to a few times. He's from the area. Mike Romeo from Symphony X.
Yeah. Michael Romeo is just an amazing guitar
player.
And Mike Orlando, I remember seeing he's from this area.
Michael Romeo is so underrated. He's so underrated, Michael Romeo.
Very melodic, but I just like the way he plays.
Yeah, very. And another guy that came from areas from here, New Jersey, whatever, is Zach Wild, of course. And Zach was the third guitarist in my life that changed my life because I just fucking loved the way he played it, like he was just beating the shit out of that thing, man.
Yeah, I remember seeing Zach Wild. He was in a band called like Zyrus or something. It was like a local band. And I guess Ozzy, or I guess Sharon Osbourne heard about him.
Right. Yeah, that's when he looked like he was in Bon Jovi, though.
Rich, think about Bon Jovi. Mudbone's father was a teacher, but our teacher, Richie Sambora, was in a band with my math teacher, and he played out of school. Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah. He played at our school band. I forgot about that. Remember that?
Richie Sambora?
Yeah. He wasn't famous then. He was playing like Cool in the Gang songs and whatever. Like,
the first album was just coming out.
And Richie Sambora was his runway on it. And actually, here's another story. When I came out from boot camp, there's a bar in Cerebral called Simcoe's. Mm-hmm. And Dave Sable from Skid Row, hey, Jeff, what's up? He's buying me beers and drinks all night. The guy's like the nicest guy.
That's awesome.
Go way back from basic. You cut your hair, he said.
Yeah. you cut your hair.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that Dave Snake Sabo is one of Bon Jovi's oldest friends. And
he's the original guitar player.
Yeah.
Right across the street from each other on Robin Hood.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. And then he formed Skid Row, of course. And what do you guys think? You're from the Jersey area. Do you think they're just as good without Sebastian? Or give your honest opinion.
If my honest opinion?
Yeah.
I don't even listen to him without. It's like a cover band.
Right.
Without me, I wish I'm not biased.
You can replace almost anybody with a band. If you replace my singer.
You think of Skid Row, you think of his something like that. And that's my honest. I hope I don't offend anybody or anything. get anybody upset, but I think it sounds better with him.
Oh, I do too. Oh,
and I remember even back then they didn't get along. It seemed like
at the time they actually had a different singer, and they kind of tossed that guy to the curb.
I remember hanging out at the Stadium and Kid Ray was there, and you see Sebastian back by himself, and then the other guys would be hanging out. It's like they weren't even like friendly with each other.
That's because they were all mad because he had all the women.
Yeah, he was getting laid.
Well, he got all the spotlight, and they were jealous of him. I don't know what it was, but whatever the reasons were, I'm sure they all had the reasons.
Right.
But me personally, I think it sounds. I'd like to see a reunion with them and like Guns N' Roses or something.
Yeah, sure. The only band that I like that had a different singer, and you guys may disagree with me on this, but I love Joey Belladonna without a doubt. But I didn't mind John Bush in Anthrax.
He was actually pretty good. I liked them both.
Yeah, I did too.
Good point.
Yeah, I did too. I liked them both, and a lot of people don't realize this either. After the first Metallica,
you got a point there.
After the first Metallica,
came back and started weird. Like, what's this guy doing back in the band? Get him out of here.
Bush was good. Nobody liked him.
Yeah, it was definitely good. And after the first Metallica album, do you know that James Hetfield asked John Bush to be the singer because he didn't want to sing? And John Bush said, "No, I want to." Stay in my band, Armored Saint, and nothing against John Bush.
Armored Saint, seeing on that Lemoore's. They used to play Lemoore's all the time.
Sure, and I'm glad it worked out that way because I think that James Hetfield's a better singer for Metallica than John Bush.
He's come a long way. I was playing. My daughter was 15. I was playing Kill 'Em All week for her. And how high his voice was. I remember seeing. I think his voice has gotten up. He was such a kid.
I remember seeing Metallica back in the day at this used to be a place called Route 18 Flea Market in East Brunswick, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And I guess John Zazula from Megaforce Records had signed him to his record label, and they were like, you see him walking around.
Yeah, I was telling this to my daughter. We're hanging out. People would say, hanging out with James Hetfield. Like, you lie. I remember John's this guy.
You lie. I can hear it.
Literally around us for like the whole year. They were touring with Anthrax.
They had a bar in our hometown. Yeah, 80s.
Nice.
Jack, the first show was Gateway 9, Union Jack, South River. When he came to the East Coast and they got signed.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of good clubs. I remember John they had a good
remember Anvil?
Oh, yeah, I remember Anvil, Canadian metal band that nobody really knew about.
That was their first show, Anvil, and I think Raven or something.
Raven, another good band. Yeah, there's a lot of good metal that people from the early '80s that people don't even know about. I mean, there were so many bands from England, like Saxon is a band that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? We play Saxon here because I think they fucking rock.
Oh, yeah, they're just right on the level with Priest and Maiden at the time.
Sure.
Witchfinder General, another one. My friend told me that a couple of years ago. I never even heard of them. Ever heard of those guys?
There used to be a club in New Jersey called Witchfinder General. Somebody from New Jersey, Birch Hill, that used to have all the great bands there. I think Saxon played there.
Sure. Diamond Head.
Yeah, a lot of bands.
Yeah, Club at A.
You remember the band Diamond Head?
I remember there's a club called 516, like a go-go, like whatever you want to call it. And hanging outside was Lars Ulrich. He wasn't famous then. He's talking about Diamond Head. He had like an accent.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about these European heavy metal bands.
Oh, they were amazing. Those early European '80s heavy metal bands. Even if you go back, if you like Bruce Dickinson, look up Samson when he was in the band Samson.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Amazing.
YouTube is a great thing. I stand up for hours looking at videos, and so many old clips come up. You just have to check it because something will pop. Someone will put something up.
Yeah, I was shocked when I found what's his name from AC/DC, Brian Johnson's old band Geordie or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, he really sounds different, but still sounded great.
Yeah, it was totally different.
I saw AC/DC in the front row in the 80s, and they had that bell there. I couldn't hear for a week after that.
What do you think about their current lead singer?
Who do you got now?
Axl
Rose. Axl?
Yeah.
Garbage.
That's kind of it's
garbage.
I mean, Bon Scott. I mean, you can't. That's what I was just saying. It's Brian Scott did a good job. Yeah, Bon Scott. I mean, you can't replace him.
No, you could. Well, see, there's the thing: is Bon Scott? You couldn't replace him, but Brian Johnson didn't try to. He sounded like Brian Johnson.
Yeah, he did a great job. I mean, that's a hard shoes to fill, you know.
Sure, and he's got the claim to fame to saying, "Okay, Bon Scott was good, but my album sold more than all your albums together."
Right.
Yeah,
he made his voice. He made it fit. He made it fit the sound, and that's.
Mm-hmm. And for me, a lot of people
wasn't aping his sound, but he made it fit. Yeah, just enough.
Sure, and if you ask most people,
afterwards, like put Celine Dion, put some crap. He just over modulates his crap.
Well, most people will say that if you ask them who was the lead singer of AC/DC, it's going to be Brian Johnson 9 out of 10 times.
Oh yeah. At this point, especially these kids don't know. You know.
Yeah, the kids don't know.
Yeah,
the kids
on Wikipedia or something.
Sure, yeah. Like most people's favorite song is "You Shook Me All Night Long." What? Shit, no, you're not an AC/DC fan.
You're not an AC/DC listener. No, definitely not.
Big wedding song.
My favorite song was, with the big bell and all that. But Hell's Bells was such a fucking amazing tune.
Yeah, it was just Hell's Bells and also the bagpipes. Can't miss the bagpipes at all. Yeah. And if you want to get to the top of rock and roll, whatever the hell. And
what was about the rock was when I left the Army, they played that song over the Army radio station for me.
Yeah, nice.
And I saw them, and they played that with those cannons going off.
Yeah.
That was loud.
About to rock. Yep. If you want to get to the top, you want to rock and roll, man. It's just like, there's nothing like it. You turn it up. You're driving down the highway and shit.
AC/DC song will make you want to punch somebody in the face, man.
Yeah, or drive really, 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 really fast. Makes you want to drive. You know, you're in the car. That's the only time when I'm sitting in the driver's seat where I kind of crank it up. And lean down and just put my foot on the pedal.
How about Sammy Hagar and Can't Drive 55? That makes you.
Here's a question for you guys: more Metallica or Megadeth? If you had to pick one of the two.
Megadeth.
I'm the same way. Maybe.
Yeah.
I would say
Megadeth. He's got more like craftier songs.
Sure.
I like them both. I love them both. They're great.
Yeah, I love them both too. And one of my favorite bands all
the
time.
What about you, Mudbone?
Yeah, what about
Metallica and Megadeth?
Well, Megadeth, he's
turned me on. Lucky Mudbone turned me on. Yeah, I love Megadeth.
Oh man, I was hoping Mudbone would come up with a different answer on that one. That way we could have a debate about it.
Sure. Think about Dave
Metallica. I should give the whole 2000 sound of the new metal almost with their Black album.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Megadeth is Dave Mustaine thrown out of the band. Instead of just fucking drinking himself away and shooting himself, he made a band that was heavier, and they were heavier. And then he got Marty Friedman and Nick Menza, and
he was awesome.
Whoa, this band is fucking amazing. Then it was so much better.
Took it over the top, definitely.
Yeah. I love them so much, and I'm still glad that they're out there doing their thing. I am.
We're talking metal. What about you guys have any punk bands you like, or you ever got punk rock? No.
Yeah, the only punk band I ever
CBGBs back in the day.
The only punk band I really ever got into, and I don't know how much you could call them punk, is but the Clash. It's like pop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pop culture, more of a pop. As far as punk bands are concerned, Billy Idol was something of
I guess I could
kind, and then
Billy Idol. There's a music store in New York City called Manny's.
Manny's
and what's his name? Steve Stevens. Who's this guitar player with that whack that is?
Yeah, Steve Stevens.
Yeah. He walks in there and starts jamming on the guitar.
Yeah. Churchick has many stories of running into people. He just bumps into everybody.
And the bass player from Manowar, the one time I went there, was there.
Oh, wow. I hope it wasn't the one that got arrested.
He's bumping a lot of people. It's that area.
So you guys
are around for heavy metal over there back then. Now it's all right.
Yeah, that's funny. We think these guys they're just coming up. They're pre-teens, and we think they're just going in there trying to get their gear.
When we were growing up in the 80s, metal reigned supreme, and then hip-hop took over the New York area.
Yeah.
It's still coming back, though. It's making a comeback.
Well, no, I think heavy metal is not just heavy metal, but I think rock is in for a big comeback. I mean, country and western did it, country did it, and pop did it because pop's making a comeback too. I think hip hop is on its way out. I really do. I believe that completely. Thank God, it's almost over. I think it's dying. It really is. And I think pop is making a comeback in respect.
I never got into
Pop's never left.
Hybrid bands like Korn and these other bands and Limp Bizkit. I don't know if you guys ever got into them, but
no, I never got into them.
No, Limp Bizkit. No, Weezer. Maybe I would get into a little bit of their stuff.
Cool.
You know, and
Perfect Circle. Cool.
Right, exactly, and I think that bands like that just kind of kept rock alive for a while, you know.
It's definitely heavier.
Yeah.
My opinion is that Kurt Cobain and Trent Reznor ruined rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, that's my opinion. I mean, because grunge and then industrial music ruined what we know as rock and roll.
Well, yeah, but there was already grunge. I mean, when you think about grunge rock, you think about Bob Dylan.
That's not grunge. I mean, that's garage more.
Like a million people have grunge rock. Nirvana fans.
Nirvana was the poster child for grunge rock. We'll put it to you that way. And then when he blew,
I never really got personally. I know it was really.
There's a lot of bands jammed into that in the metal.
Sure.
Yeah, Alice in Chains out of there. That was more metal.
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden.
Yeah, I mean, you're right to that point too. But it was like the world put Nirvana on this pedestal that Kurt Cobain couldn't be any better than he already was, and it killed him ultimately.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I think it was a mistake, man. I think it was like, oops, that's loaded, kind of a thing. I don't think it was intentional suicide. A lot of folks think it was.
Here's a question for you. You guys listen to the heavy metal band Accept?
Oh yeah.
Who do you like better, Rito or the new guy from New Jersey, Mark?
I think the new guy actually is a better singer, but you know,
he's good. I remember the other guy I bumped into was he's from New Jersey area. I mean, I'm not talking about.
Here's a band that people don't talk about a lot from the '80s, and that. What about Sabotage?
Oh yeah, my buddy, the video. That's another strange, but he Brian
Bartow, Club A.
He did one of their videos in his backyard.
That's awesome.
And it was with TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Some of those guys.
You know what's funny about that? The connections, everything. They became the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and now Russell from Symphony X is one of the singers in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. You know, I mean, it's weird how it works. Yeah, he is, and he did.
But he's got two groups, so he's split into two different. The East Coast and the West Coast.
Yeah, I don't know which one he does. Maybe he does the East Coast one, probably. Yeah. But you're right. And then they got they got so many good people on that show. Jeff Scott Soto does the West Coast one. You know, I mean, it's like
there's another. So many metal people that come to fill in there.
Oh, true.
Many people come in and play.
But I was at the Starland Ballroom in the urinal, and right next to me is Russell Allen. I guess Russell Allen from Symphony X.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's awesome.
Starland Ballroom in Cherville, New Jersey.
Oh, I love his other band. You know, oh my God, I always forgot the name of their band, the Adrenaline Mob.
Mike Orlando.
Yeah, Mike Orlando. I think they're so good.
In New York or something.
Yeah, Mike Orlando, really good. And it's like, wow, I love it that all these bands. Go ahead.
Guido, how'd you get the name Guido? Are you from? Because back in the day, we used to see the Guidos all the time. They drive the IROC Zs. They have the gold chains.
All right, I'll tell you how.
We live in Seaside Heights, right next to the Jersey Shore house.
Well, that's kind of how.
Mudbone back in the day.
I used to DJ in
bars down the
and
street
stuff. I used to DJ in bars and stuff, and I went one.
Yeah,
and I went one time to a job with a wife beater on and a gold chain, and I was Guido from that point on. So
they used to like that dance music. They're cool dudes, though, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just doing like the persona of it, you know.
Yeah.
I really am Italian. I'm 100%. So I guess, or not 100%. I'm some German too.
Then you go to one of those tests and find out you're from Croatia or something.
No, that's funny you say that because I did DNA from Ancestry, and they lost it. I'm like, how did they fucking lose it? I said, cloning me. I'm so fucking awesome. They're cloning me, you know.
You're so fucking awesome. We got that part. Yeah.
Doing his own horn is not wrong with that.
No. He's not only convinced. He's not only conceited. He's convinced that he is the shit, and he is. I mean, he's been my partner now. We're going on 7 years now, and so we started
That sounds gay as hell. Don't say it that way.
Yeah, you're my lover. I mean, my long distance lover.
Next Howard Stern, you'll watch, man.
Yeah, right. No, actually, Guido's a great guy, and we came to meet. We started doing this show on another radio station, and that kind of fell apart. So we said, "Fuck it, let's just start our own radio station," and that's what we did. So it served us both well and it makes great partners. So we enjoy doing this great show, man, and we enjoy bringing you on. Can I do another tune from you guys? Since I kind of I fucked things up last time, so I don't want to fuck it up this time. I want to play one of your tunes here, and we're gonna do the Soul Crusher, right? And that's one of yours. Tell us a little bit about Soul Crusher before I play.
Soul Crusher was written by our guitarist John Pollock.
Cool.
He's probably listening right now. He's probably jumping up and down right now, screaming right now.
Yeah.
But he came up with that tune. I mean, I changed it, tweaked it a little bit, but butchering some the lyrics a little bit, but it's mostly his song tree.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about what it tells you.
The original lyrics were, they sound like a death metal song, like that's a little bit too violent, man. You got to scale it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But John, he's like he's more to the heavier.
That's awesome.
Heavier.
He came up with the riff, came up with all it's mostly his song, by about 85%.
All right. Cool. All right, well, let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
He's got another one. It's called Metal Maniac. It's really good. It's going to be coming out soon.
Oh, great. Are these two contenders for the new album?
Yeah.
They are. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Here it is, man.
I'll get there.
You heard it first here on KGFRocks.com, The Conjugal Visit through Spreaker. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Enjoy. Yeah, that's a rocking song. That's a rocking song. So this stuff has been recorded live in what bar again? Was that recorded in?
This is the Brighton Bar. The Misfits, they made it famous. Back then there was a lot of famous. Sebastian Bach, which is there, he was there not too long ago. Okay. The bar in Long Branch, New Jersey, but a lot of, it's kind of like, it's not as probably as big as a Stone Pony, but a lot of like famous.
Smaller. It's a small club. It's a great town.
Misfits
the Misfits. Hey, the Misfits are good enough, man. You know, anybody else, who cares? You know, that's one of the most like underrated bands. Yeah, right. They're like one of the most bands that don't get a lot of credit, but they did a lot of great tunes. Metallica
constantly touring. They never stop playing.
No,
even
right.
Just the bass player. They don't always get along with each other, but they'll play.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Jerry Only and all of them are still doing it, but
yeah, he doesn't get along with his brother sometimes. Sometimes the guitarist's not playing; he's just on his own. I think right now he's on his own. Doyle Vaughn, Wolfgang Frankenstein.
Yeah,
I like Michael Graves too. The second singer they put in, he was good.
Oh, Michael Graves, yeah, he was great too. Yeah. But that early Danzig stuff, they didn't really have any good recordings. That's what the problem was.
No, it sounds so bad. That's the problem. Is the quality of the recordings are horrible.
It's like demos, and that was it. But the words and the music, they're like the Bob Dylan.
The drums are like cardboard boxes with disc.
But everybody else did their songs great. You know what I mean? Like Metallica with when they did "I Got Something to Say," I just killed your baby.
I didn't know Danzig was in Misfits until I'm listening to Metallica Garage Days, and I heard about Misfits.
Oh, that's probably that's when the whole world found out that Glenn Danzig was in that band.
They still don't get any credit.
Oh, remember his other bands?
I follow them on like Instagram and stuff, and just go small clubs play. They're constantly playing around here.
Oh. I saw him a couple years back with a band called 6 Feet Under. It was a really good show.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, I went to see that band because the lead singer in that, Chris Barnes, was in a band that's close to us, Cannibal Corpse. You know, here they're closer to us, the Jamestown area, and so they were around us a lot too. You know, in this area, they came to the club scene here in Buffalo in the '80s and '90s, and so I had to pay homage to Chris Barnes, and I actually went to see him. But Danzig just kicked the show's ass. He was still good.
Yeah.
So good. I mean,
it's a very good band. It's a good lineup behind him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, real simple sound.
Yeah, and that's all you need, man. You don't need to be overproduced, you know.
Misfits, like how many young kids love them, like how many bands they inspire. I'm big on the media, Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They're straight up copying them, just whatever, with the bloody skulls, with the skeletons, and just doing that.
Yeah, and he's like, the thing about him is he's dark and whatever, but he's a really nice guy, actually. You know, if you ever get a chance to meet him, I mean, you see him and he's all just dark and all, but he's not like that. He's just a regular dude, kind of like Alice Cooper, who everybody thinks he, murderer in that, but he's actually like a grandpa and shit. You know,
he's a grandpa now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a grandpa. He plays golf and he hangs out.
That picture you get online with him with the big bag of cat food.
Right. Yeah, but that's what a lot of people don't realize is that's his job. His job is to entertain you, and so Kiss doesn't wear their makeup all day long.
Here's a question for you: do you like the original lineup or the current lineup or the newer guys
of Kiss? No, yeah. I'm a realist, dude. Kiss to me is not Kiss without Ace Frehley. I'm sorry, and
I agree.
I do like some of the stuff they did in the '80s. I really
confession guys in there because they've become like the standard.
Yeah, well, they're gonna do an American Idol thing to get it going. I think they should die. I think
they said they're gonna do their last tour. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. We've heard that before, right? The Rolling Stones.
The
Rolling Stones have done what? 3 farewell tours,
Yeah.
So
I read this report today that this guy close to the Kiss camp said that when you go see Kiss right now and the vocals sound really good, that Paul Stanley is using a backing track, and then when it's
vocalist. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
I've heard that for Ozzy too, but
Right. Who knows? But
over the years.
Shit happens to your voice, man. If you sing 300 nights a year or something,
Well, yeah. I mean, sooner or later, it's bound to affect your voice, especially heavy metal or especially those death rock and angry rock. I call it angry rock. I call it angry rock, where they're all pissed off at the world, fuck the establishment, kind of thing.
Like Oscar the Grouch.
That kind of stuff, and you know,
Cookie Mountain Monster, they call it.
Yeah, sooner or later that voice is bound to give. I mean, you know, that's what a couple of artists have lost their full on career because they lost their fucking voice.
But you know, some of that stuff too, like people talk crap sometimes about metal vocalists. Oh, they scream or whatever. But if you listen to Phil from Pantera, nobody else can sing like that. Nobody else can even copy that. You know, that's
back I'm 12 years old and I'm playing Maiden, and my mom was like, "I can't understand what he's singing."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they don't understand the word you're saying.
This now.
Yep.
What's that German band that does that death rock?
Rammstein.
Yeah.
So many. I went down a rabbit hole with that past couple of weeks. That it's like angry.
Yeah, just
death metal, right? All out of Europe.
Yeah, death rock is definitely making a big hit over in.
And there's a lot of female singers too, female fronted.
Yeah,
out of Europe.
Not even in Europe now. If you look at the metal, or not even metal, but rock bands in the States, there are a lot of female singers now. Cool, chicks rock, but that's so cool. But you know, like, I don't mind everybody singing, but be good. Just be good. Don't promote somebody just because there's somebody singing in the band.
I just got a couple months ago from Canada, Unleash the Archers as the female singer. Like, amazing. Sounds definitely old school.
Yeah. I've heard of them. I think we actually play some of them also too. And you know, like a lot of people give her the big for Hailstorm and that. And she's a good singer, and they're a rockin' band. But
she's good. She's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. And they're big Tom Kiefer fans like I am, so that is cool with me. But you know, yeah, that's so cool. You know, and they're still rocking it the old way, which I give them credit for. They're doing it the way that the old way did it, you know, by playing good shows. And
everybody's got real pipes. You know, you hear them with some of these newer guys. It's just all effects behind them.
It sounds the same, condensed music to me, man.
She's got the pipes, that raw voice.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. That's what rock's supposed to be. A real person singing, a real person playing the guitar, a real person playing everything. You know, and not computer drums. No.
A couple of years we saw Maiden, Ghost open for Iron Maiden, and they came out there, had like a couple of tiny amps on the stage. I think the whole show is just backing tracks. Singing anything. That's funny.
That's crazy. Yeah, don't do that. Play the shit. You know, I'm coming here to see you play that guitar. Yeah, but you know who? Cool. There's still some bands out there that rock it, though, that you could see them in concert and they'll totally blow you away. And I tell you, one guy I saw last summer, I saw John Fogerty, dude. He kicked everybody's ass, man. He opened up. Yeah. He opened up for ZZ Top, and after I saw Fogerty, I left. Oh, it was so good, man. And he's got Kenny Aronoff on the drums, who's an amazing drummer. It was just a spectacular show. Everybody in the world that's listening, if you go see John Fogerty, dude kicks. He's probably not going to be around much longer, but you know, I don't want to put an omen on him, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, but he is 70-some years old, but he still plays up on that stage like he's in his 30s or something. I mean, he's got so much energy, maybe because he gave up the drugs many years ago, you know. He's a good boy now.
It helps.
It does. Well, unless you're Keith Richards.
Sure.
I think if Keith Richards quit, he would die.
Yeah, he's one of those.
Yeah, you do it so long now, it's in your system. He will die. Yeah, he will die, man. Oh, Lemmy, that's exactly. I mean, Lemmy, I always wondered why Lemmy, he had some money. I'm not saying he was the richest man in the world, but you had some money, dude. Why didn't you get that fucking... Yeah, why didn't you get that fucking mole removed, buddy? You know? I'm sure
he got plenty of chicks from it.
Oh, he probably. But you know, Lemmy became the unofficial spokesperson for metal. He really did, man.
Yeah, he absolutely. A documentary. He's had a tiny apartment, like everything stacked up like a hoarder, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Just hang out at the was it whiskey? You hang out all day.
Yeah, it was whiskey, and he fucking people would rather have their picture taken with Lemmy than James Hetfield back in those times.
Oh yeah, I would.
Yeah, you had status if you had Lemmy.
Yeah, that was like a loudest. All these bands you've seen, that's like the loudest show I've ever seen. Just for a small band opening up.
The loudest band I ever saw was Manowar.
Manowar, really?
Oh, yeah, I never got to see Manowar live.
They were like bleeding. Like after that.
The loudest band that I saw.
They just blew our eardrums out.
Here was the loudest band I saw. It was just a few years ago. The concert sucked. It was Van Halen, David Lee Roth blew, and the fucking sound was so loud. I'm like, I can't even hear it. Now, I don't know if they played it so loud because David Lee Roth sucked, or he spent more time changing his clothes than singing, the poor guy. And I'm a huge Van Halen fan, and I'm a huge David Lee Roth fan. I'm a huge Realist fan. I love the original band. I always do. But he sucks. He sucks. You know, and it's sad.
Another one, sad. David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar.
Well, here's the point. Here's the thing with that. I would say David Lee Roth, but then again, I would say Sammy Hagar. It's two different bands completely.
Yeah, like now second career. They changed their sound.
They changed the sound completely. Yeah.
And I'm glad that they did though, because now it's not David or Sammy Hagar trying to be David Lee Roth. He's fucking Sammy Hagar. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and I liked it. I liked it that way. And
he's the guy who kind of molds them, like Dio. Dio molded everybody to his sound, whatever band he was in. He went to Deep Purple, the Rainbow. And they went to Black Sabbath. They just sounded like Rainbow.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Heaven and Hell was the greatest. Like, fuck you to Richie Blackmore and to Ozzy. It's like, fuck you. We don't need you. You know, and it was one of the best metal albums ever made.
So look how different we can play once we got somebody who can sing like this.
Oh, I know.
It's the way it sounded.
Yeah, even Tony got better. He got better. You're right.
He let loose.
Yeah, and that's the same way. Here's a question for you. I probably might be one of the only people in the world that think Motley Crue was better with John Corabi.
You're the only person.
Well, I
remember Army stories being an MP. I remember with John Corabi, Motley Crue's tour bus. They were playing on the bass. Uh-huh. They called me up. Hey, you got to escort Motley Crue's tour bus to the stage. They got a call, you know.
Yeah.
And back then they had John Corabi was in the band.
Yeah,
I love Vic Morris. Vic Morris is like, I don't think he's in the band anymore.
No,
with John Bonsanova, whatever.
Yeah, he can't even walk really that well. Man, he's got spinal something. He's got some spinal disease, and he really does. And he's like curved, real. That's why, sometimes he had like rest things on the stage where he could just lean back against like a metal rest stop so that he can rest. That's pretty sad. But he's a lot older than them, dude. When he joined that band, he was in his 30s, and they were only in their early 20s.
Yeah.
You know, so he's like Uncle Mick to them, you know.
Well,
I heard a rumor that Jakey Lee, I don't know if this is true, is this rumor, can't believe everything you hear, might be taking his spot.
I heard
that this is the last tour they're doing. They're doing a final tour too.
Jakey Lee. I mean,
they're liars when they say it was their last tour.
Could be fake news. I don't know. That's what
well, they're doing something because of the new movie coming out. Okay, the Dirt rather. So what a lot of people are thinking is that they're going to come out and tour, but not as Motley Crue, as the Dirt, with Jakey Lee doing Motley Crue songs. So they can technically say we're not touring as Motley Crue, because that's what they said. They weren't going to tour as Motley Crue anymore without all the members.
Joe Dirt?
Not Joe Dirt. No, The Dirt. That's the name of their new movie.
Bud Dirt.
Remember the mullet? Let the mullet make a comeback.
Yeah,
I rock the fucking mullet, man.
Yeah, that's where you go.
Oh, man.
When I had hair.
I had that mullet right till I sat in the chair on basic training my first day. That's when they cut the mullet off.
That was the last time I had one, too. Yeah. It was the last time when I sat in that chair and they shaved it off. Oh, see you later. Bye.
See, I live close to Canada, so the mullet.
Yeah, let's watch some Army stories.
Yeah, I live close to Canada, so the mullet was popular here before everybody else had it.
Yeah.
You know, and I loved it. Like I had the Billy Ray Cyrus going on. You know.
Well, even the girls wore the mullet.
Oh, everybody wore it.
It was a multi-gender haircut is what it was. I mean, even the girls had a mullet. You know, I've seen high school pictures of girls saying, God, that was an ugly fucking haircut.
Yeah, it was like a way, like, you could get long hair and still, for the parents, they wouldn't let you have it.
When I graduated high school, the girls were trying to see who can get the bigger wall of hair.
Yeah.
Like, their bangs were, like, teased up, like, hanging up.
Oh, yeah, we went there.
Hey, speaking of Cinderella, his son is in a local band, the guitarist, Jeff LeBar or whatever, Mach 22, and guess who they opened up for? Guns N' Roses, Kiss, Bon Jovi, like all these major bands.
That's awesome.
They opened up for.
That's how it works, man.
Yeah, Jeff LeBar.
I guess they got to have connections. That's a big, but they open up for some, like the Kiss, Gene Simmons, and they're pretty good. They're a rocking band. I've been checking them out.
Gene Simmons' kids don't have no worries. Gene Simmons' 2 kids are beautiful and rich. They have no worries.
Yeah.
They shall never need nor want.
What do you think about these TV shows they had back in the day with Ozzy and Kiss? Gene Simmons had his own show, reality series.
Yeah, they were comical. They weren't real. They weren't real, though.
They weren't real. I mean, the plot was set prior to
the show. Reality,
yeah. It's not real reality, but it was actually, it was funny. Come on, do you really think Sharon Osbourne threw a ham over in Pat Boone's house? I don't think that she did.
No.
You know,
that's what they did for Jack and Ozzy traveling the country. For a world tour or something.
That one was actually pretty cool because it showed them like actually bonding, you know, and shit.
Name some heavy metal stars that were on The Apprentice.
Brett Michaels was on there. I don't know if he's heavy metal.
Brett Michaels was on it.
Wasn't Vince Neil on there?
Vince Neil was on there. Yeah.
Brett Michaels actually won it the one year.
Donald Trump was on it. It was his show.
Yeah, Brett Michaels won the Celebrity Apprentice the one year.
Yeah, they had a couple like heavy metal people on there.
Yeah, they did. And you know what? That's cool. Those things are kind of funny too because it's like you seeing celebrities do little tricks and stuff. It's like funny because it's like, you got no career no more. You got to do stupid tricks for Donald Trump to get some money. You know?
Yeah, I was trying to sell shows, trying to sell tickets.
Right, and that's
funny. I understand why they do it.
No, but those guys.
They said to Brett Michaels so he could put an album out, and they're like, "Oh, you seen him?"
Yeah.
He was alive.
Well, they put a post out the other day that they're going to have a new album on Poison by 2020. I'm like, or 2020 or something like that. I'm like, really? That's a year away. Why are you doing that now?
Yeah, everything's coming back around. I mean, some of the best shows I've seen are band what did I see in Atlantic City a couple of years ago, Kansas. So it was amazing. Those guys are incredible.
Yeah, they are.
And that guy was propped up to sing the iPad singer. He was like leaning back on something.
Yeah, he probably was. I saw Johnny Winters one time, and every few minutes he went to the side. I'm like, what's he doing? Lines of coke? Then I went and looked, and he was taking oxygen.
Oxygen, yeah. Absolutely. Those guys, their voices were great.
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, fellas, give us an idea. What you guys got? You got a show coming up anytime soon?
Like I said, we got one in the works at Wells Fargo Center, playing during the Philadelphia Wings. They want us to play. They contacted me, but it's 50-50. I got to see with the band where they want to go with it.
Okay.
But they're expecting 8 to 10,000 people.
We're going to do as many shows as we can. Like, that's really pretty new. These guys are off the other band.
So playing with a band, local band, McKell's Plot. We're going to be playing with them at Ardmore. And we're taking I guess they got a tour bus going.
Nice.
It's a bus trip. Tour bus. So technically we're going on tour.
Excellent. You'll get a feel for what it's like
going
to
on a
be
bus.
on tour.
We're going to drive.
Leave right across the Cerebral Shop, right across from Cerebral High School where Bon Jovi and Big Stable went to high school. And they're going to take that charter bus to the show.
Well, listen, when you guys do your new album, when you finally get it all in the can and ready to go, would you let us know? And we'll get you an exclusive on KGFRocks.com. How's that sound?
Be the first one I send it to.
Appreciate it.
Let me know, and we'll get you on the air, and then we'll even bring you back to the Conjugal Visit, and we can talk about it and promote your new album. Okay?
Sounds good, brother.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on tonight, man. We got to say adios to you, but we'll want to thank you all for coming on board and being a part of our show, and you guys are a rocking band, and you guys have a bright future. And I hope that everything comes your way, man.
Hey, thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks for your kind words.
Yeah,
You want to close it out with Driving Force?
Close it out with Driving Force? Sure. I'll end the show with Driving Force, and we'll go from there.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Hey, guys, you guys take it easy.
Nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, you too.
Having some time.
Nice talking
right,
to you,
man.
man. You take
rocking
care.
show, man.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man. Keep rocking.
Rock on, brother.
Rock on. Go ahead and hang up if you'd like. And we're back. Hi, gentlemen. How are you, Guido? You back?
I never left, my friend.
Oh, you never left. Oh, you're such a true blue dude, man. Hey, them guys were great. That was great conversation we just had. And that was Joe Chick and Mudbone Ferguson from the band Rebels United. And they got a good future coming up, and I hope their album does well. And we'll get it as soon as we get it. You'll get it.
As Tim Buck 3 says, their future's so bright, I gotta wear shades.
Yeah, that's right. So, anyways, what do you got going on there, Guido? Anything special?
No, I'm just I got the new grandbaby now. You know, it's 2 now.
No, two grandkids. I got 15 of them.
Yeah, but you're also like 15 years older than me.
Well, that's true. You got a bright future ahead of you. Grandbaby, wait till you start forgetting their birthdays. Then they'll really hate you.
Oh, I already did.
Yeah, I mean, you forget, man. You forget. Hey, listen, if you're out there, grandkids, let Grandpa know.
Drop a hint.
Drop a hint. Well, I did my. I've been doing the breakfast show, the classic show. The free brunch program, yeah. and I'm running out of stuff, man. I'm running out of stuff, but you know what? You never run out. I mean, there's always something, and what I'm going to try to do now from now on is close my show with a new band and something new and fresh.
What is the whole concept? You're trying to get like stuff that nobody hears or whatever.
Yeah, I want to get stuff that's fresh and new to people. It's either that or stuff they haven't heard in like decades,
right.
that I haven't played on my show. So I'm looking for some interesting stuff to play on my show. And if anybody's out there listening, you'd like to give me some hints, you can hit us over there on KG.
I can send some things your way.
Okay, well that'd be nice. I'd accept that from you. You're my partner.
I found a couple indie bands from the '60s that really were never released that I really enjoy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, send them my way, my friend.
No, I will do that.
I'll play them. Yeah.
Yeah. They might have been, I think they were like just released like regionally or something, like in wherever they're from, Ohio, or I don't even know where they're from, but they're pretty good.
Oh, it's like bands like Head East and Missouri
or that one band from your area, Mama's Pride. I'd never fucking heard of them until I met you.
Yeah, Mama's Pride and Hartsfield.
They're right, Hartsfield.
Band. Yep, they're a regional band. So I play a lot of that stuff, and I don't want just the Midwest people. I want people worldwide to listen to my show. So
I'll send you some East Coast stuff that is that's classic. There's some stuff that you probably never heard of, and our listeners probably never really heard of.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be nice. Well, cool. We came to a mutual agreement here. All right, let's talk about what happened. What's going on next week? Yeah, we're gonna got a show coming in 2 weeks, and that's gonna be in 2 weeks from now. We're hoping to have what was his name, Nico, and this guy here is a huge hit over in Europe. And
really?
This band really rocks out. And we'll have more details on that later on when I do my show. And I'm trying to find his name now. You can tell I'm searching, right?
I love it because I always have it right in front of me, but I like to.
Oh, his name is Steve Balacco. Okay, and he's from Italy. And we're going to be doing an interview with him, and they have some kick-ass music. And they're really awesome. And
he's from Italy.
He's from Italy.
Does he speak English?
He speaks a little bit. It's broken. But yeah, he's from Italy and he speaks English. And we're going to be sending him out some. We're going to be sending him out some questions prior to him coming on the show, and that way he can be able to, be up to snuff on some of the questions.
So it probably won't be the normal hour and a half interview.
No, it's probably going to be about an hour, about 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But that's going to be on the
3rd of February.
No, it's going to actually be on the 10th of February.
10th. Wasn't there something on the 3rd of February?
Yeah, we've got something on the 3rd, which is next Sunday. Right. And next Sunday we're doing the God damn it. Why are you doing this to me, man? Why? I'm never ready. KGF Rocks. You're killing me.
This is old age.
Yeah, this is old age at its finest. Conjugal visits we're going to be doing next week. We're going over our line.
Right.
Next week we have David Lyon, and David Lyon is with the band Custom out of Seattle. Cool. And it's going to be awesome. He's a kick-ass musician, and
we're not lying.
And we're not lying. We're telling the truth. He's really awesome, and I've heard his music, and these guys are really good. The band Custom out of Seattle will be on our show right here on KGFRocks.com next week. Okay, I got through that. All right, so don't miss it. You can listen to this show again someplace else if you want to listen to it again in case you missed some of it. Tell a friend about us here at KGFRocks.com and about the Conjugal Visit Show. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter. Find us all over the place through KGFRocks.com. Got anything else, Guido?
Yeah, boy. No,
that's it? Okay. All right. Well, we're going to say adios. We want to thank you all for coming in and rocking with us this evening, and just keep rocking. We ran out of time. I was going to play another Rebels United, but we're out of time. So maybe.
Sorry, guys. We'll put one in our rotation.
We'll put them in our rotation, okay? And that way you can hear them anytime on KGFRocks.com. Okay, fellas, we're out of here. Say goodnight, Guido.
Good night, Guido.
And good night. This is the Conjugal Visit.
It's Sunday night, and this is the Conjugal Visit on KGFRocks.com.